It's Matt.
It's Shawn.
Own their
phones.
Let's do it, baby. We'll be back in a second. Boom, that beat.
That's right.
Drops.
That beat gets my son fired up and my daughter.
So, Shawn, it's episode 3. The first 2 we shot in the studio here together. This is the way it's going to be most likely of most of these in the future. How's life since you went back to California?
Life is amazing. Life moves fast, but it's important to slow it down, enjoy the days. The days are long, but the years are short. My daughter just turned 3, and just going through the videos that we put on Instagram and Facebook, and 3 years, don't blink. Don't blink, or you wake up and it's all gone. So, but yeah, no, super fired up. We had an incredible trip to Florence, going out to America's Best Restaurants HQ, getting this show launched today. We actually, the day that we're recording this episode, your podcast with entrepreneur.com dropped. So if you are listening to this, I got to interview Matt for Entrepreneur Media, which is entrepreneur.com. Everything about you, your business, a deep dive into all the work that you do to help restaurants succeed.
Yeah, I loved it. I woke up to it. I knew it was coming, but I didn't know the magnitude that I'm going to open up my phone from a text message and, hey, you're the headliner on entrepreneur.com in the morning. That's pretty badass. I appreciate it. I loved it. And the interview was amazing.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, and by the way, you say you blink fast. My son just turned 18, so shut up. Yeah. Cole's 18, Paige is 19 in a couple of weeks. No, oh, man, she's 20. She's 20 in a couple of weeks. So she'll be able to tell me to screw off in a couple of years here. It's pretty soon. But yeah, I agree with you. Time moves fast. But what I wanted to talk about in episode 3, episode 1, we introduced what we're doing together. Episode 2, we talked about the results, the early results. It was like, I want to say 2 to 3 weeks in. And I got the stats here. That's going to be a podcast. Episode 4 is going to be that one, I believe. Yeah, episode 4. And then episode 5, we're going to talk about something different. But today, I want to talk about your tech stack, because I think one of the problems a lot of restaurants have, well, I guess I'll say 2 problems. Number 1, a lot of them aren't using enough tech to make their life easier. Number 2, some of the people that are using a lot of tech, they don't really know how it fits in. And you put together something that blew my mind. You did it, I want to say it was for the NRA show when you spoke at the National Restaurant Show, not the rifle show. I had a friend of mine that doesn't know the business. Like, why are you at the NRA show? So I'm going to share my screen and let's have you talk about your tech stack. Can you see that okay?
Yeah, we can see it. So yeah, I mean, it's interesting. So getting asked to speak about technology at the National Restaurant Show in Chicago really gave me the opportunity to go over what we've been doing for the last 15 years as a barbecue brand. We've integrated so much technology, whether it was on the marketing side, the media side, the operation side, the finance side, the inventory side, that until I took the time to actually write down on a chicken scratch piece of paper, you know, what exactly are we using? How much money are we spending? What are our monthly subscription costs? And how does it all integrate together? And why do we have it? Because if a tool is only as good as you use it. So if your team isn't using it, if you're not looking at it, if you're not working with the technology and the people behind the technology, then what good is it? And the coolest thing that anybody that's listening to this show, if you're a restaurant owner, there has never been a better time for you to have a voice. So we don't view these as vendor relationships. These are true partnerships. And the partnerships happen because they need us just as much as we need them. So anything from a very small, tiny tech startup where we have a company like Gritzy, who we have listed on here. Gritzy is a video software service that we put in our Ghost Kitchen locations, as well as our Master Kitchen location, that helps analyze steps that a cook takes in order to optimize the speed of service as well as the mistakes. So Gritzy is a very small company, small startup, but I've had Fotis Patriotis on our podcast on digital hospitality, interviewed him, learned about the team, learned about the software that they're building out. But if it works for me, and if I love the software and I love the tech and I'm willing to share it on this podcast, if I'm willing to share it on our tech stack, on our blog post, if I'm willing to go to National Restaurant Association and share that, now it's very valuable to him. Now I've become a very valuable client to him, just the same way that I'm a valuable client to 7 Shifts. I'm a valuable client to US Foods. We're a valuable client to Weight Trainer. Toast, obviously, is our technology partner. America's Best Restaurants has become literally our CRM. And that's why I'm excited about this show, because, you know, by looking at this tech stack, you and I can go and start to figure out, you have an entire team, dedicated team for Cali Barbecue, for all of your clients, that help deploy all of these tactics, all of these marketing tools, such as Facebook marketing, such as text marketing, such as email marketing. Well, when I look at my tech stack, I go, well, I'm paying for MailChimp. I'm paying a lot of money for MailChimp, because you pay based off of your database. I also have Toast as email. I also have America's Best Restaurants. So now through this show, you and I can talk about, how can we deploy your team? How can we get the lists from Toast? How can we get the list from MailChimp? And do I need to still spend money on MailChimp, or can we coordinate an effort so that we can do the things that you talk about for Father's Day, the things that you talk about for Mother's Day? How can we be different, but deploy resources in a smart way that shows, hey, you know, we ran this campaign the first year for Father's Day with America's Best Restaurants. We got rid of MailChimp. However we deploy that, now you're teaching me, but by teaching me, we're doing this podcast and sharing with everybody else, hey, this is what happened in 2022. And then look at what we did in 2023. Look at how much engagement. Look at how many more emails we had. Look at how many more opens we had. Look how many more pre-orders we did. It's all open source, and it's just an exciting to be able to do this literally as an open case study.
Yep. No, I love it. And it's cool to see this. What I'd like to see on this would be even cooler is if maybe you created another version that was your operations tech stack, your marketing tech stack. Because there's some things in there that overlap. And by the way, quick story on your comment about the video cameras. What was the name of the company?
Gritzy.
So one of our clients a couple years ago, wife was an emergency room technician, but she was also a partner in the restaurant. And ironically, work in the restaurant was her wait time. And so she would go work in their crazy kitchen. And he was telling me, he's like, Matt, she made our kitchen so efficient because in the emergency room world, like, you can't be walking around for knives to cut somebody. You got to have your stuff together. And she came in and would watch, like, people would move this way, move that way. And, oh, why isn't this here? Why isn't this there? So I could see where that video technology can really change a lot. Cause like I heard somebody say recently, like, they kept noticing their bartender kept leaving for this item on the other side of the restaurant. Well, let's get 2 of those items. Let's put one here, put one there, so that it's making it more efficient. So what I want to ask you a question that I'll unshare, and we'll talk about these. When you look at this real quick, what are the marketing aspects? I know Ovation. I know you've got on here Toast. You got MailChimp you just mentioned. What are some other items that you would classify as marketing?
We would classify Marquee. Marquee is a company that allows us to deal with 82 different menu platforms. So there's 82 different places a restaurant menu can show up on a website. That's 82 minimum. So if you go from Yelp to Google Maps to Tesla Map to an Apple Map to TripAdvisor, all of these different places where your menu will show up without your permission. Literally, these are aggregate sites that go and they put it. Marquee will allow you one dashboard to go and update your menu on one place, update your location on one place, update your operating hours, any changes you have operationally, and it will push it out. It will also allow you to respond to Yelp, respond to Facebook, respond to Google, all in one dashboard. So Marquee would be another platform that we use for marketing.
And G Suite, I mean, there's some aspects there, because I'm sure you got emails coming inbound and outbound for different departments.
Then, we keep all of our content in the G Suite for sure. So Google Drive we use, obviously, for branded emails. So important for you to have a branded email for your restaurant. Make sure that your URL is branded and makes sense and shows up for search engine optimization. WordPress we use. We have a local website designer that helps us. We've also started working with Pop Menu. So Pop Menu is a sponsor of Restaurant Influencers. Pop Menu's done some incredible work. The more that I learn about them, I interviewed Brendan Sweeney and Tony Smith, the 2 co-founders over in Chicago, and they're doing incredible work to help optimize menus. So they start with menu, and they're doing a really great job of helping restaurants fix their website. Mobile friendly, should not be your website. It
Oh
needs
my
to be
gosh.
mobile first.
Yeah,
It
mobile
has to
first.
be mobile first.
So when you look at a couple of those items, so a couple of things I'm going to dig into with my team as we get to know your brand better is, okay, Ovation, Zach Oates, his company. It's an awesome tool to get customer review and sentiment. Where's that data going? How can we possibly coordinate what happened on our end, what's happened on
Yep.
their end? You got MailChimp. Where are the people coming in from MailChimp? How are people getting into MailChimp?
So MailChimp is through a sign up on our website. So
Okay.
it's if you join our email newsletter, anybody gets a free peach cobbler that will go directly into
Okay.
MailChimp.
Okay. So we could easily fix that to where that sign up just goes right into the VIP program, and that
Yep, correct.
coordinates that easy. What I love about Marquee is I'll never forget, I won't mention the company, but this is like 9-10 years ago. We had a restaurant brand that had 3 locations. That was my biggest headache, was that you would update the website, you'd go update Yelp, you'd go update Google. And then this company came along that back in the day was the only place. And their concept was, hey, we give you a place to upload your menu, the images, and
Yep.
it's one change universally. And how is Marquee spelled?
Marquii. So it's hard.
Okay.
It's a different spelling, but
Yeah.
it's
Okay.
Marquii.
And so Marquee, now can
Now
you,
their social is at Get Marquee.
okay. And so one thing I want to look there on my end is look and see what's pushed out there, because if there's an opportunity to push out some unique branded URLs that just don't drive people to calibbq.media, but drive them to a specific call to action that might change
Yep.
every month. Now all of a sudden somebody's on the Uber app, or they're on the, what we talked about. You talked about the
or Waze or
Tesla.
Lexa,
You said like Tesla
app.
map,
Yep.
and they're on there and they see a barbecue place near them. Like I was actually on Waze the other day because we
Yep.
were in a traffic jam, and I use that whenever there's traffic problems.
So
We were
do I.
driving to Nashville and back, and I went on there and looked, and little things pop up. Now all of a sudden I go there, and instead of going to maybe Cali Barbecue's website, I go to a page on the website that's a very specific call to action.
Yep.
That, hey, you're finding us from a map. Click here. Come into the restaurant right now. Here's your bribe. So
Yep.
looking at things like that. G Suite. I had one with, we just know with a client who had G Suite set up for all their departments.
Yep.
They had one for their catering, one for their events, one for wedding, one for in-house. And they had never taken that data. I'm like, well, how many people in the catering? It was like 1,800 people that had back and forth communication with the catering email. And I'm like, well, where are they at now? What do you mean where they at?
Yep.
Like, where do you put those?
Yep.
Well, nowhere. I'm like, well, there you go. There's a start to your catering list.
Correct.
Let's start using that better. Let's start getting that, get more data from them, and then getting them into a catering CRM so that you can you can take advantage of that list.
Well, those are the things that excite me. I mean, you and I have found each other because of podcasting, literally following your content, hearing about you, reading your book, and then thinking about the stuff that I heard you say on other shows, where I've sent so many emails in the last 15 years as the owner of the restaurant, coordinating with sports teams, universities, local community colleges, you name it. We've done all this outreach, but where are all those emails? They're just in it's Shawn at calibbq.media. Those are all my sent mails. I've sent them to all those people. They don't go anywhere. If I at least said a nice welcome, like, hey, we're starting a new email list, a VIP club to take care of people. This is Shawn. If you'd like to opt in, please opt in. If not, no worries. But what if we convert half of that list, 25% of that list? I mean, I guarantee you there's tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of emails that I've sent. And that doesn't include the catering department. That doesn't include the info. That doesn't include all these other pieces that we're talking about. So very valuable data that is just going untapped.
The catering part's the scary part. I had a client one time, this goes back a couple of years, that we had gotten similar data from them for catering, and we did what we call a database reactivation. But on the catering one, we a little different. We sent them a catering message and said, by the way, forward this email to your entire employee staff, and they can forward to their families and friends. At the bottom, you'll see a free burrito for being a loyal fan. And I'll never forget the day the one email went out, the guy calls, goes, hey, am I looking at my dashboard right? We had 400 signups yesterday. And I looked and I said, oh yeah, they're like 390 from one company. He's like, what? I said, the catering thing, like that list you gave us from catering, that secretary that did the catering forwarded it to 800 employees. And those 800 employees saw it, went, heck yeah, I want that. I'm like, so there you go. That one email in your inbox just got 400 or so people join your VIP
Right.
program. And I can promise you, based on the fact that they're not too far away, they're going to be walking in the restaurant within a week. And so there's a lot of things out there that we talked about in the first episode of those partially built bridges. There's data, a lot of places. And like for me, one of my goals with my team is to coach my team on how we can have conversations like this with our clients to say, how do we connect the dots? And then also when I find out cool stuff from you, like I didn't know about Marquee. And I guarantee you that my goal now is going to be to go to all our clients, go, hey, are you using Marquee? Are you using Marquee? Because here's a product that you can use, because that is a constant headache. Of all the menus wrong here, the menu's wrong here, and old prices here, and old pictures here, and then, Ovation with reviews. I mean, positive and negative reviews can do a lot of awesome or a lot of bad things for you. And you want to know where they're at and you want to avoid them.
Well, it's even more powerful because the leaders in these hospitality companies, in this tech stack, like we are only engaging with technology companies that get it, that are playing the game within the game. Like literally Zach Oates, the founder of Ovation, has his own podcast. He's literally having conversations like this, like you having him on your show, him coming on your show. Avi Gorin, he'll come on your show, but then you'll develop deep relationships and let them know what you guys are doing. And each of these tech companies have thousands of restaurants, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of restaurant clients that they're working with. And a lot of people, we're just not connecting the dots. And that's the exciting thing about collaboration, is once you start to have these conversations, you go, well, we're already doing that. Like you and I literally, as much as I'm always talking about marketing, but I'm not talking about what you're talking about. What you're talking about is so specific to helping our barbecue brand, our barbecue brick and mortar restaurant, our ghost kitchens. But it's like, there's still a lot of pieces, and you have an entire team that you can help deploy for me and all of my clients, so that I don't have lists that go untapped, unactivated. These people want to hear from us. They've already literally come into our restaurant and spent money. Help me.
Get them back.
Help me,
Get them
man.
back.
America's Best Restaurants. Help me. Let's make it happen.
We got it, baby.
Let's wake them up.
Well, this wraps up episode 3 of Own Their Phones. Shawn, let's sign off. Let's go on to episode 4. I appreciate your time today, brother.
Let's do it.
Have fun in California.
If anybody has any questions, you can find me at Shawn P. Walchef, ShawnPWalchef, on any social platform. Yeah,
and if you want to see that tech stack, there's a blog post, CaliBBQ.media. You heard it right. It's .media, the only restaurant that I know of in the world with a .media, because he's telling a story, because nobody else is going to. But go there, click on the hospitality blog. What does it specifically say? I think it says like underneath when I found that. I just want to make sure I tell everybody how to get to it. I'm at CaliBBQ.media. Yeah, and you click the blog category right at the top of the page.
Yep.
Simple enough. I mean, go figure. It's like it actually has a menu that tells you what to do. There's a lot of times, unfortunately, that doesn't happen on a lot of websites. So make sure you check out CaliBBQ.media. Click the blog, check out the tech stack, and dig into what each of those items are doing, because there is a lot of opportunity to automate your business and eliminate little tiny things that people are spending 30 minutes to an hour on. That's all we got for this episode of Own Their Phones. We'll see you next time.